So actually seeing, it's really weird. I'm seeing like two different places at the same time, and they are very different. One is like kind of golden green as the sun comes through the trees, and it's there's a tree line, and that's all I'm seeing is trees, and then over there's the sun coming through it. And then the second place is a desert with rocks. It's like very orange. And I'm also seeing a black horse there as well. Those are the two places I'm seeing. And each, when I tap into them, when I talk about them, I'm being pulled towards them both.
I feel like you can explore them together or one at a time.
I
What does
think
your soul feel?
um, I'm like hearing what came first. So, but it's interesting because they both start at the same time, but I'm seeing them like weave together. So let's start with, I'm going to start with, I'm going to start with the rocky desert looking place first.
Okay. Yeah, you can either walk over there or teleport yourself or go back into some kind of a soul portal and whatever feels best to you.
It's interesting. It's like when I'm seeing this orange rock, I'm like seeing a foot kind of like stomp on the rock, and it's not letting me like explore. I think it's signifying something about me in um the rock formation, the rock sand dune formation that's there.
Like it's not allowing you to go further.
Yeah.
What kind of a foot is it?
It looks like it's wrapped in like kind of like a almost like a mummy, but it's more like, I don't know if I want to say linen or cotton. A little bit bandagey, but there's no wound. It's just wrapped around my
Hmm.
ankle and the midsection of my foot, but my heel, most of my heel and my toes are out.
Oh, so it's your foot. Your foot gets
Yeah.
there and can't go further.
Yeah, it
Okay.
just keeps stomping on the ground like
Stopping
it's
on the
it's like pointing me or something.
Okay. So we need to explore whether or not we need to explore whether or not you're to continue or if there's something that you're trying to retrieve. What kind of body are you in? Yeah, like is the rest of you wrapped in the same kind of linen or gauze or cotton? Can you tell?
Um, yeah, almost. I was like looking up to see my body, and it's like it's weird. I'm like all, I'm like first I'm seeing like almost like this kind of what you might see like Eskimos wear, if that's the appropriate
Okay.
term, and then I'm also seeing like underneath that wraps, and then I'm seeing actually like a skeleton, almost like I said, like a mummy.
So you're seeing different layers and levels
Yep.
of even your own templated existence. So should you the more you explore and talk, the more I can help guide you. But if you're being stopped from going any further, do you want to explore the other place and see if you get more information or if you can find anyone to talk to? I was wondering if that black horse would come over and talk to you. Is the
Yeah,
black horse
it feels like the black horse is like outside. It's not like part of
accessible?
the,
Oh,
yeah.
it's not part of this.
It's
Okay.
just like observing almost. I don't know. That's kind of the sense I'm getting because I don't see it. Although I see when you said to walk around, I saw a path of it's like desert stone, and there's cracks in the ground because it's dry, but the sun's coming down in the skies. It's like very orange and it's like kind of reflecting. And it's making that white sheen on the ground when something's like reflective.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm seeing that, but I'm seeing just footsteps make their way there, and I'm not walking with it. It's just footsteps pointing me in that direction.
Do
And
you
I think,
feel safe to explore it?
yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah. Do you want to explore that? Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Does it feel familiar or is this completely foreign? Does it,
Um, so the rock formation, I've been there in the Akash before. I don't really see much else than like the rock and then the sky. Um, Here I'm seeing as I move forward, I'm brought to like a beach.
okay.
Like, um, it's interesting. It almost turns into like somewhere completely different as soon as I step onto the beach.
Oh, wow. Okay. So scene change, kind of.
Because the way I walked through to the beach, there was a rock that it wasn't like a full circle portal, but it like looked kind of like that. It was going towards that shape, like kind of an archway shape, but it wasn't connected at the top.
Has your body changed now that you've walked over there or your perception of the body form that you're in?
I almost, it's funny because I see another layer added, but I almost want to say, no, I haven't changed at all. But I'm seeing
Uh,
more of a darker skin tone on me, and I almost feel like I'm like a child. I'm not like
You're
older
not
how
grown
I
up.
felt, yeah, when I was in the desert place.
Hmm. Did you walk backwards in time? Did you follow a path of time?
I don't know how to tell. I don't know. It's not very
That's okay.
clear.
That's okay. If it's not
Um,
made clear, then that's okay. What do you see in the beach scene? Are there any other living beings? Or
well,
is it just,
I'm seeing other children. It's almost like islander children.
uh,
I'm seeing like that green turquoise water. I'm seeing like white sand. Yeah, I'm seeing this beach, and it's funny, I'm really being highlighted like these like almost like shell treasures on the beach
oh,
specifically.
wow.
Yeah. And I see like toys and stuff, but it's interesting because it's not the people in the landscape feel real, and the stuff that's in the sand almost feels a bit cartoony, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. As you feel into the scene, do you feel like there's more for you to explore there? Or I like, I want to let you explore how you feel led, but I'm also, when you were describing your skin and the water, I just got a flash of ask her if this is Moo or Lemuria or
Yeah, this is definitely no. Like I got chilled as soon as you said that. And I can feel it in like the connection, the high heart like between my throat and my heart. It's definitely what
this.
I'm feeling.
Yeah. Are you a boy or a girl, do you think?
Mhm.
The way you described the water, I knew it had to be Moo.
So it's interesting because I think I see myself as a girl, but I keep seeing this guy. Like, he almost looks like the human version of I never saw the movie Moana, but he looks like the human version
The
of
big
like
guy?
the big guy in it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen it either, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Do you think you're supposed to go talk to him? Maybe you're here to connect with him.
Yeah. Let's try that. Um, it's almost like I'm like he wants to I don't know if he has the or if he feels the language he can say is something that I might understand. It almost feels like he wants to pick me up and like put me on his shoulders and like walk around with me on his shoulders.
Is he your dad or uncle or somebody that you know?
I think maybe. I'm not entirely sure, but he seems trustworthy and I almost when I saw him lifting me up and putting me on his shoulders, I saw almost kind of like an Easter Island type of thing, but different. It like looks a little different, but it's similar.
How?
Like that was like
Part of?
part of him or something. Like underneath his that layer, he that's part of him. I don't know how to describe it. I'm just seeing like and the stones aren't they're kind of round, but I'm seeing like square. Specifically like they're like human stones like Easter Island, not hu you know what I mean, like the
Yeah.
heads, but there's more to it. The the bodies look a bit weird, but everything is like kind of square. It's not round. It's very
Are there several of these?
um well, I'm not really seeing them around the place. I'm seeing almost like his human is like kind of a
Kind of like,
costume of that, like it's on top
okay,
of it.
okay. Yeah, that's really interesting. As you are riding, he's carrying you or you're on his shoulders now.
Yeah, kind of
Is
like a koala.
yeah, is he talking to you or are you having like a heart to heart or mind to mind transmission?
I almost feel like he's just showing me around. I don't know if he's really giving me any information really. He's just like pointing at things. Like
Like showing you around, almost like you're,
yeah. It's like my first time at the beach, but also I'm really getting here. It's like he's showing me what it's like to be that large, specifically that like that tall. He's giving me a higher perspective. That's what he's saying to
oh,
me.
that's awesome. When you feel him, like he felt safe, felt familiar, or comfortable, at least safe and comfortable, as you're with him, when you think about like the soul being reflected through the eyes, does it feel like somebody you know in this life? Do you have any connection to this, like an aspect of his soul in this life?
It's actually funny. I think I am getting like my stepdad, which is really weird. I wasn't expecting that like before you even said that, I saw his face.
Yeah, yeah, this happens. This happens, and that's why he's been a good, because he is a good dad and stepdad to you, right?
Hmm.
And he's been a safe man in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. That's great. Is there any, I guess what I'm being led to ask, maybe you can feel into this, is how is Lemuria and like the cellular memory that you're carrying, the genetic memory and codes that you're carrying of Lemuria, how are you being asked to bring these forward? And are you? Does he have anything he wants to share with you about the turquoise waters?
Um, it's I'm like as soon as while you were talking, I was seeing something I've seen many times. It's just it never appeared to me in this way. I'm seeing like I don't want to say tribal because it's smaller than that. It's like kind of like there's a fire and we're on the beach and we're wearing flowers and we're like singing and dancing like around a fire, but it doesn't feel like shamanic. It just feels like very like happy, like kind of family tradition type of thing.
Yeah.
Um, and specifically when you talked about the waters, I'm I'm getting like something about the sound in the voice of the ocean. And it's I've this isn't the only time I've connected with it. I connected with it when I was down in Florida on vacation.
Mhm.
It was something that I was able to hear immediately. The Because I'm he I don't want to say hearing, but perceiving. I'm gonna say her because that's how the ocean
Yes.
feels to me is her, and she's very motherly, like very like yeah. I don't know. That's what I'm seeing.
And this is part of your own voice too, isn't it?
Yeah,
How your own voice is being called to transmit and sing and bring joy and teaching, right?
yeah. It's almost like there are some very it's like in I'm trying to explain it in language. There's like a very ancient, I don't want to say t sound, maybe tone that's been lost, and that's why a lot of music falls very flat and is very easy to take a hold of because it's missing a certain that
Yes.
elemental back. I don't want to say elemental as in like the elemental realm and beings, but elemental as in water, fire,
Foundational.
earth. Yeah, foundational. It's missing that backing and it's easy to be hijacked in that way. But when created from the foundational elements of the cosmos, it's something that it's it cannot be touched. It's very And it's almost because it's hard for me to put it into words, it's hard for others to find it and try to hijack it. I don't know why that's what I'm
Oh, that's good.
saying.
I've wondered about all of the like, I don't know, meditation music that's pushed on YouTube and Spotify that they're making on computers or with AI, the 432. Is this good for us? Does the water, do you and the water have any information about like, is modifying the hertz beneficial for us? Or are we, is that,
I I think it's an attempt to do what I'm speaking of, but it's not the
yes,
way to do it.
not,
It's
yeah,
trying to do it, but it's because it's not something with the music scale itself. It's something with the spirit of the music. It's
yes.
not with the actual physical production of it. It's the spirit behind it. If it was made, I think if it was made in good intention, then it's fine, but it's still easy to be used in other ways if something was so like if someone was able it was listening to one of these things, but they were open to attachments and stuff like that, then it would be able easy to use this as a portal to attack them.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I've wondered. That's amazing information. Is there any more information about your voice specifically coming in related to like your question or like guidance about how to use your voice? And if you,
It's
yeah, I was just gonna say if you can't and it's just for you, that's okay too.
I don't think it's necessarily just for me. It's just hard to put into words because it's so foundational, and the foundational is so part of the all that it's hard to put into exact words what it is. And I feel like it is something that I am going to have to do more. I don't want to say shamanic with the connotations that they have nowadays, but shamanic as old, like
Bold. Yeah.
ritual shaman, journeying to
Yes.
really, it's just because the knowledge has been lost.
Yes. So
It's
you'll
n
be retrieving some old old.
Yeah, it's not something that can be found in a book or any other teaching. Maybe there's little hints of it here and there. Say, again, I'm being drawn to Plato and then Casey, and weirdly enough, like Manly P. Hall, but
Has tidbits of it, like little
yeah, it
tidbits.
there's a little bit of it in there, but the only way to see the full picture is to go there myself. I don't physically maybe, but like internally, absolutely.
Okay, awesome. What else do you want to explore? Do you feel like there's more to explore here, or are you ready to like kind of open your portal and see where else is aligned for you to visit?
I'm I actually I this is interesting because it comes up in my dreams and other places I use the water to travel. So I came out another beach, but I immediately went to that place with the tree line as I was talking about before. So
Okay. Yeah.
I'm seeing I feel very small. But it's because I'm seeing multiple perspectives here. I can get a picture of where I am, but when I put myself in there, I'm feeling very small and I'm kind of running really fast, but in kind of a playful way. Um, there is a kind of like a Bambi baby deer, and I'm kind of running after her. But um
Are you an animal or like an elemental? Mix.
it almost seems more elementalish. I'm actually seeing myself as kind of like I don't know the word for it. So I'm not like how uh you might see fairy. I'm like kind of seeing myself just like as a I don't want to say toddler, maybe kindergartner, but I'm
Teeny?
like I'm tiny, but I'm also like kind of fluffy. Like I don't want to say like I don't think that's the word, but like I'm like I don't know,
Um,
I'm like really I almost want to say embodied because I think it's almost saying something about this being me rather than this is how I look. Um, but I'm like seeing myself running.
mm,
It's like I have a maybe I have like a grocery bag, but it's like kind of naturally made. It's got a bunch of like fresh tiny fruits and berries in it. Um, and like I just see myself keep running, but I'm for a while there, I wasn't seeing myself go anywhere. I was just running. Not in place, but it just I kept seeing myself running and running, and now I'm seeing kind of a tree with a door on it.
a tree with a door. Is this your house? Or are you visiting here?
It's interesting because I was going to say my house, and then you said visiting, and I got the inside, and it seems like I am visiting. Like this is somewhere I have been before, but mm. So I immediately go to inside of it, and it's like I'm seeing kind of like it's just very cozy. Like I don't let's see. Like the I can see you when you look at a tree, you wouldn't think that if you carved it out, you could see the sunlight through it, but I can. It's like instead of being like the normal wooden like kind of oak tree color, it's like kind of a redder brown and it's a very cozy spot. Like I'm seeing a kind of just a place it's almost like a meeting place. I'm not really seeing much else. I'm seeing like a table with
Oh,
like a teacup and like I'm seeing like a quilt. Um, I'm actually being drawn to my this is reminding me of my great aunt's house actually
Oh,
for
that's
some
cool.
reason.
So is this a place where like community members meet? Like, is that what is it something like that?
No, this feels like this is like someone I know's house, but I don't
Okay.
I
You're just
almost
kind of seeing a sitting,
yeah.
like a
I'm
sitting area.
yeah.
Okay.
Um
Is anyone home?
Interesting now because it when you said that now the scene kind of it changes a little bit.
It does. Yeah.
It changes to like it's like me, yes, me asking like is anyone home? And then I'm there's almost like um I don't know why I'm seeing like the outer window of like a castle or something. It's like a but it's a small castle. And it's weird because it has the kind of the same vibes as you might think like something in like Paris or Italy might have. Like it's someone's like in the kitchen and the kitchen is back there through that castle. But I'm like, it's very interesting because I think I'm not in that tree anymore. I've like
Jane.
almost I changed.
Yeah. Did your body change? Were you the same type of being person?
I'm in this like kitchen and I mean I'm definitely like a child, but I'm not, I don't know. And I'm really only getting like the kitchen. And like I know someone's home, but I feel like when I went into the kitchen, they're not in there,
In there?
which is strange, but that's all I'm kind of getting. And then I'm kind of being drawn to the sky and there's like airplanes and stuff. It almost feels like this is mm, I'm not really good with history, so I wouldn't know like the specific type of wartime period, but that's what I'm kind of
Like World War
getting.
II wartime, like when the Peter Rabbit books would have been
I'm
kind of like
maybe I'm not entirely sure because
so some kind of a war. Like
yeah.
you're feeling like it's past, like a past decade. It's not the current, like in our lifetime. It's before
Um
that.
yeah, it's before that. It's funny. I keep seeing Paris. It's weird. I keep seeing the Eiffel Tower and I keep seeing those like pilots, like those like the fighter pilot type plane design. And, you know, it has like kind of like there's like a base color and there's like kind of a stripes on it and then there's like a number in the
Yeah.
center of there's like a number denoting what number the plane is.
Are
That's
you
kind of what
supposed
I'm
to go
seeing.
explore Paris and the Eiffel Tower and the plane? Or are you just gathering information about that time period?
I think I'm just gathering information. I'm not really seeing. I mean, I see like there's an opportunity to go do more, but I think myself in this lifetime is afraid like
Okay.
of like being outside because of like
Yes.
planes and there's like I'm not seeing explosions, but I'm feeling them. It's very strange, but that's what I'm getting.
No, I
Um,
understand. Is there some fear that you're here to clear? Is there a little bit of fear that you're here to address?
I think so because I think it almost feels like I was abandoned here. Like there's supposed to be someone else in this place with me, but they're not for some reason or another. And when I think of why I'm being brought to many things. I mean, I'm being brought to war. I'm being brought to like sickness and almost seeing like I'm seeing like I don't know if you've ever seen like Courage the Cowardly Dog. I'm seeing like the main grandma from that show as well. Kind of like she's supposed to be there, but not. But then it's weird because then when I go back to see where she is, she's back in that small tree place, but she's like sick in bed.
Oh
It's
no.
very strange. It's like it's weird. It's like
Was this someone who was helping take care of you though? Like, are you in a situation in which maybe you've been abandoned, unintentionally or orphaned?
yes, that's what it feels like because the tree, I think why I was picking up on the tree being so bright in the colors is because the other scene is the complete opposite of it. It is very gray, like I'm almost getting the yes, and the
So you're a
place,
child.
yeah,
You're sure you're a child and alone.
yeah, and I think I am a boy.
And are you surviving on like the fruits that we saw you with earlier before the scene changed? Like, are you out like trying to find food? Is that the situation that you're
It's weird because I'm not who I was in the tree. It's like there's something different here. I feel like,
a little different?
yeah, it feels like I just can't leave this kitchen with the big window that I can see out to the Eiffel Tower. That's like what I'm seeing. I feel like I can't leave there, but if I wanna, the one place I can leave, like, kind of, is to go to that tree place, but there's a connection to the life, but it's not part of it. It's really strange. It's
Fine.
like almost like it's like a different, again, it's different layer.
A different layer. Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense. That makes sense. You were being shown like a lay you're being shown a layered reality. These were two similar but somewhat different aspects that
Yeah.
you were experiencing at the same time.
So I'm being drawn a lot to kind of like current incarnation stuff to go along with this is this abandonment wound and not although it's not how it was in these other lifetimes, it was um it's still as painful because of the past life experience of being actually physically abandoned. Emotionally abandoned is equally as worse too.
Yes,
It fractures the soul just as much as being physically abandoned would.
absolutely. So are you essentially here to do a little bit of soul retrieval and
That's,
soul
yeah, that's what
healing?
I'm seeing because I can't really go anywhere else and it almost feels like when I'm in the tree, I'm visiting to talk to, or not even talk, just to kind of sit by my grandma figure, and just wait until, the day she passes because she's all I have. And then in the other one, the kind of Paris wartime, I'm like pacing back and forth in this kitchen and looking out the window and like kind of in a state of like panic and kind of in a loop of not knowing what to do.
Yes.
It's
So
almost
you
like I came home and they weren't there one day.
are completely abandoned, had no idea what happened
Yes.
to people that should be there with you.
Hmm.
Did it have something to do with the war?
It's interesting. I'm not feeling war. I'm feeling some very like selfish reasons, almost like taking care of a child was too much. Um,
Oh,
we were already poor to begin with, so we left because we didn't have enough for you. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting here.
is this relevant for you in this life related to like kind of a templating of being too much or feeling like you're too much and no one can meet you in your fullness or love you as you are?
Definitely, and it also goes to feeling like I am meant to be alone, whether that be friends, family, romantically, etc.
A pervasive thought that you're going to end up alone or you're meant to be alone or every time you get close to someone it blows up kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you feel like that's a cellular or like a genetic a soul encoded thought form that you are now able to release, like love these other aspects of you that felt abandoned and bring them back into wholeness? You feel like
Yeah, definitely. It actually, when you were saying that, it almost looks like it's a hair that you can pluck. That's kind of what
yes.
I'm getting.
Yes, you can just pull it out. It's like that's the manifestation of the thought pattern that comes into matter. Absolutely. And you can love those other aspects of you and allow them if you sense that maybe they're in a time loop right now, you may offer a way out for them. Like if you think there is a loop happening where they're not progressing and they need to rejoin you or rejoin other aspects of your soul somewhere, I think you are there, you can facilitate that if you feel led to.
Yeah, I think so. I think, while I think the tree lifetime knows about the death process, the other lifetime has little to no idea of anything of that nature. I feel like I'm literally just seeing the boy lifetime just keep running around in circles. So it's definitely a loop that needs to stop.
Okay. Probably just go right up to them, call in yourself, in this body or another body and have a conversation or heart to heart and help them however you feel led.
Well, I'm just kind of pulling me out of the loop, and I'm almost seeing myself appear like kind of a Cinderella with like a big dress on and gloves and stuff, and just with my hands on his shoulders, uh, letting him know that he is, although he's been abandoned, he is not, although he's been abandoned physically, he spiritually and energetically is not alone ever. And I'm like kind of giving him a hug. And
Oh, that's wonderful.
I'm seeing him almost like kind of disintegrate into me. And when I go to the smaller me lifetime with the grandma, I'm when I appear in the corner, it's almost like she knows. Like I don't have to say anything. It's almost like I'm being asked here to play kind of the role of like a Grim Reaper, kind of like this is like, oh, it's time type of thing. But I think her seeing me, um, instead of what has been, said, um, is making her feel less scared about the whole thing. That I come to her in this form. Again, I feel like I see myself kind of wave my hand over her, me, my grandma, and I'm seeing, as she leaves that, vessel, that body, that, little me is coming up to current, me in the Cinderella form, and kind of I'm there to support her through this process, and kind of have that same sort of connection.
Absolutely. Is she starting to dissolve or converge like into in with you now?
Yeah, she's almost turning into like Like she was crying and now she's turning into just like a water form
Oh, okay.
almost and
Like
dissolving into me.
wonderful.